Hello, everyone, and welcome in. Today is Friday, October 13th, and I'll be taking a look at what messages are coming through for you today from God, Spirit, the Divine, the Universe. If you haven't seen it yet, yesterday I posted a video taking a look at the upcoming eclipse, so that's going to be happening tomorrow, and I did a different type of reading where I pulled some cards for the overall energy and then laid them all out and picked ones for each individual zodiac sign. So if you have a minute, check that out and see what all messages were coming through for you in terms of what this eclipse season has to hold. So we'll go ahead and jump into today's reading. And as always, you can check the description box below for the links to your sign grouping for today. All right. So overall, our energy, we have the Four of Wands in reverse. We have the Tower in reverse, and then we have Ace of Swords. So with our Four of Wands in reverse energy, that is going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit of that sense of there's some disharmony that's going on, and there's kind of this lack of teamwork, kind of sense of like a lack of effort. So normally when we think about it in the upright, and that's kind of also that twin flame union or reunion energy. This is kind of the opposite of that. It feels like things are just out of step a little bit. And there's the Tower in reverse is about clinging to something and not kind of clinging to the past and not letting these positive changes come through for you. The Ace of Swords energy, this is going to be kind of that fresh new start, that, creative opportunities. And so, if you can move past this tower, let this tower happen, it's going to bring in some new opportunities for you. But when you're too busy clinging to the past and holding on to a situation where things just feel off, where you have that lack of teamwork, lack of harmony and happiness within your family, it's going to keep you out of that energy. It's going to keep you out of that Ace of Swords energy. So that's something to keep in mind. Sometimes you do need to let that tower happen and stop trying to cling so tightly to a structure that really isn't benefiting you, one that's really kind of falling apart and failing. So look for those opportunities for having that clarity and that breakthrough. And I think this clarity and breakthrough that you have is going to trigger that tower to actually happen. And a lot of times people are scared of those tower moments. They feel like, oh my gosh, something major is happening, and change can be scary. But what's even scarier is the idea of staying in an unhappy, unfulfilling situation indefinitely. That's the part that should be scary, is, oh my gosh, do I really want to wake up 5 years from now and go, what have I been doing? I've just let this bad situation continue because I was scared of making a change. So let's start today with our fire signs. So that's going to be our Aries, Leo, Sag, and see what message is coming through for you for today. The Chariot. So this is that energy of breakthroughs, positive movement. It's that fast-moving energy. So you'll be seeing this sense of overcoming obstacles and hurdles, and that's really going to be that really goes well with this kind of breakthrough. That once you lean into whatever this clarity is, whatever this breakthrough is that's trying to come through, and you stop clinging so tight, it's going to be fast. You're going to see some fast improvement. You're going to see your circumstances getting better, and you're going to see yourself moving in that happier direction much faster. But it is that matter of, you need to let go of this death grip you have on whatever this tower is that's trying to come through. Let go of that death grip and just let it fall. Your soul journey card is Love. I commit to the practice of seeing good in all things. So, and that, when you look at that, look at all those purples and reds, that really is the key here. And that's part of your breakthrough. Look at the reds in there. That's part of that breakthrough and that clarity, is you need to be living in a place of love, not living in a place of I do what I do because I'm trying to keep something from falling apart. So you've been living too long in this sense of I'm trying to keep something from falling apart, and it's leading to imbalances and disharmony within your family. So, sometimes the most loving thing to do is to let something fall apart that needs to fall apart. All right, let's take a look here and see what message is coming through for you. All righty then. That tower is protecting you. So this tower that wants to fall is protecting you from something. It's protecting you from something worse that's coming down the road if you keep clinging tightly to that. So there is a sense of, sometimes when things are starting to fall apart, they're falling apart for a reason. And the divine will continue to try to send you messages. And this is something that we've talked about a lot on this channel, is if you ignore the messages, they don't go away. They keep getting louder until you cannot ignore them. So if you keep dragging your feet and you keep clinging to whatever this tower is that you're resisting, that positive change, you don't want stuff to happen, it's going to come through bigger, badder, and kick your butt even harder. So that tower that wants to fall is protecting you. So this is that breakthrough. This is that clarity that you're looking for, is you need to be able to trust that the divine is making something fall apart for a reason. The jumper card that came out here was wild. May you express all that you are. And that was a jumper card, so I'm going to pull another one. And let's see what that one says. Pause. May moments of calm sustain you. So if you are in the habit of moving from one disaster, one emergency, one fire to the next, you need to sit in those moments of stillness. So sometimes people that are always busy, that's actually more of I'll call it a trauma response. Because it's like they feel like if they're not doing something, that's a bad thing. They feel like that's lazy. They feel like it's selfish, when everybody needs time to recharge and refresh. So, and actually, before we move on, let's pull one timing card here. So that tower that you're holding on to, that you're not letting it crumble, what is the timing of when that's actually going to release? Oh, was that? Once you can stand on your own 2 feet. So that was the card that flipped. So that's saying that you need to be able to get to a point of saying, and when I say stand on your own 2 feet, because these are cards that I had made, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to wait until you're financially independent and you don't need the other person. It's once you have that realization, once this breakthrough realization comes through that you don't need that structure in order to be happy. You don't need that structure propping you up, because it's really not actually propping you up. It's holding you down. Once you realize that, and once you can stand there and say, you know what, this isn't for me, that's when it's going to happen. But the universe, this is kind of also, I guess, a way of saying the universe is making you make the choice. So to just kind of say, well, but if it's meant to be, it'll be. The universe is going to make you be the one to stand up and say it, because that's part of your mission. That's part of your journey, is you need to stand up for yourself and advocate for yourself. So once you can stand there and do that, that's when this tower falls. But remember, this tower is protecting you. So you need to be able to step back and say, this needs to change, because otherwise the message is going to keep coming through louder and louder and kicking your butt until you have no other choice but to say, and something related to relationships. You'll have no other choice but to say, okay, this is done. All right, so now we are on to our earth signs, which is our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's see what comes out for you. The World. So this is the last card in the major arcana. And this is that sense of completion. You've learned that lesson. Things are, And I would say this is things are coming to an end. So we've talked about this before. The world doesn't mean, everything's going to be bliss for the rest of your life now. It means whatever this journey, whatever this cycle is done. It's completed. And so that's kind of this whole thing here. If there's this disharmony and you're clinging to something, but the world is coming. So that completion is coming, but you have to let this go so that you can close out this lesson. And so this is the breakthrough that you're waiting for, is the understanding, the understanding, and look at the colors in there over here, that understanding that, wait a second, I'm having this aha moment, this clarity moment, this moment of breakthrough, and that's what's going to finish up this cycle for you. So there was a couple cards that jumped here: forgiveness and death. Forgiveness is, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And the death card, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. So these are both saying that there's something that has to end, which is this tower moment. Something has to end for you to complete out this cycle. And, with this swirling, you see both of the swirling patterns, it really has to do with forgiveness, and that you can't keep resenting somebody and expecting positive change. So you have to forgive them and release them. Now, forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean, oh, okay, it's fine, we're just going to go back to the way things were. But forgiveness is not letting them off the hook. It's letting yourself off the hook from carrying negative, toxic energy forward with you. So that's, forgiveness is about you, and forgiveness is about letting yourself let go of hurts and let go of past energies. It's not about saying, oh, that's fine for you to treat me that way. That's fine for me to feel like I'm being mistreated. No, that's not what forgiveness is about. It's about releasing that situation from keeping a negative hold on you. All right. Your guides are listening. So this is that reminder to ask for help, ask for guidance, ask for help. And your guides are there. They're ready to help you. But, free will is part of this journey. So you can do whatever you want to do. Your guides aren't going to force you down a certain path. So if you ask for their guidance and you ask for their help, they will come to you if you listen. All right. And the next card is courageous. May each breaking wave build your courage. So even with this the idea of breaking waves, and they're big and they're dramatic, let it build up your courage and your strength to let go of things and to forgive and move on and start that next chapter. So let's pull a timing card for our earth signs as well and see, when does that tower moment finally happen? You're clinging to it, trying to keep it from happening, but when does it look like that's happening for you? It's already in motion. So this is already starting to crumble, and things are already moving and happening. You just need to allow it to happen. And this is in regards to a relationship for you as well. So both of the times when I shuffled at the end of our fire signs and our earth signs, that card jumped out. All right, so next we are on to our water signs. And that is going to be our Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Let's see what comes up for you. The High Priestess. So the High Priestess, this is that inner wisdom, that higher consciousness, that divine feminine energy. And so this is really calling on you to listen to that inner wisdom, to listen to that voice and that guidance as the situation is unfolding. Oops, that was a lot of cards flipping. So that's what you're being called to do. Let's see what other messages are coming through for you. Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. So, especially as it pertains to the situation that you're desperately clinging to, trying to hold on to the past and keep this tower from falling, let some levity come in. Let some humor come in. And, sometimes that's what you got to do to be able to let life happen. So try looking at that part of the situation and find the humor in it. All right, and then we have make sure you're sharing your energy intentionally. So this is that reminder that just because somebody asks for your attention or asks you to do something, it doesn't mean that you have to say yes. So, and I'm not, hold this one up here for you. This was, your jumper card was play. May you seek out fun and connection. So, you know, so that's definitely going with the humor card there. But the idea with make sure you're sharing your energy intentionally is just because somebody is asking for your attention doesn't mean that they should get it. You need to be like, that's your most guarded or prized resource is your energy and your attention. You know, so for example, just because somebody calls you doesn't necessarily mean that you have to answer. So I've had discussions with people in the past and, you know, over the years, the whole idea of, you know, me having a cell phone is a convenience for me so that I can call people when I need to, so I can have it in emergencies and stuff like that. It doesn't mean that anybody who has that number automatically gets access to me 24/7 whenever they feel like having access to me. So, you know, if I'm busy doing something else, I'm busy doing something else. And that's something, you know, be intentional, because you want to make sure you're giving your energy to the people that are most deserving of it. So like if you have a family, make sure you're not giving away all your good energy, you know, throughout the day, and then you come back and you just have like the ugh, and that's all you're sharing with the people who love you the most and mean the most to you. All right, and then the card I'm actually pulling here is held. May you feel the ocean's caress. So this is something about, you know, we talk about grounding, especially going into eclipse season, really working on your grounding. And some of that, if you are by the water, that's a wonderful time to be able to, you know, walk along the shore, go for a swim in the lake, pond, ocean, wherever that may be. We're going to take a look at a timing card for you as well with this tower that's wanting to come through. What does the timing look like on that tower that wants to come through? Not in the foreseeable future. So this is something, in order for this tower to fall, you're going to need to do some more work in terms of letting go of whatever that situation is. So this call with the for your inner wisdom and higher consciousness is really asking you to go within and see what messages are trying to come through. You know, bring some, the Hanged Man. Oh my goodness. So bring some humor to the situation, bring some lightheartedness, and, you know, really start to see the situation for what it is. All right. Now we are on to our air sign. So that's going to be our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's see what message is coming through for you. All right. The Devil. So this is that energy of whatever is pulling you off your path. And, you know, so sometimes it's addictions and vices like drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, shopping, eating, working, but it's also those mental things. What are the stories that you're telling yourself? What are those bad habits that you keep engaging in? Maybe you're overly critical of somebody, you know, or your partner. Maybe you're overly critical of yourself. Maybe you keep telling yourself these self-limiting beliefs. So be mindful of that devil energy that's keeping you from your path. All right, and the two cards that came out here. So the jumper card was gratitude. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. So there's that one. And then patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. So some of this devil energy is probably related to being impatient. And this Four of Wands, this disharmony or this discord is likely due to a lack of patience, that you're you're wanting something to happen and it's not happening in the timing that you are hoping for. And some of this devil energy, when you look at this, it's a matter of needing to be grateful for what is happening now, and what blessings you have. So this devil energy could be that you're a glass half empty type of a person, and you're really not focusing on, okay, what are the blessings? What are the good things that are going on right now? You're too busy focused on, what am I not getting? How is this not working out the way I wanted to? So that could be that mindset, that devil energy mindset. All right. Let's take a look at what other message is coming through here for you. If you aren't happy, make different choices. So the whole thing of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So be grateful for what you have. But if you want to make a change, instead of just focusing on, well, I'm not happy because this, XYZ situation or this circumstance, be grateful for what you do have and then make different choices, as opposed to just sitting back and letting that complaining type of energy dominate your thought process. All right, let's take a look and see what one of our sea journey cards is coming up for our air signs. Free. May your soul sing freely. So this is kind of that that energy here of letting the freedom come in, and not feeling like you are locked up or bound to certain bad circumstances or negative circumstances or heavy circumstances. So let your soul be free and let that energy carry you forwards. As we're looking as it pertains to the situation that you have your death grip on, it's that there's a mismatch in terms of what you want the situation to be versus what it actually is. So you need to acknowledge the positives of what's going on and what are you grateful for about the scenario, and then let whatever's going to happen. Whatever's trying to come through, let it happen and stop trying to control it so much. And that could, because for you, that'll be a different choice, because you, up until now, you've been trying to control it, because you think it should happen in a different way. You think something should go differently. And this is also a reminder of the gratitude of the tower, that the tower will bring a change for you. All right, let's take a look at the timing of when does it look like that tower is actually going to happen, and when does it look like that's going to end up being released. All right, make it happen now. So that's a little bit of this sense of, the devil energy is trying to keep you off your path. So some of that is waiting for somebody else to do something. So it's interesting because there's this balance of needing to have patience, but also not just sitting back and saying, well, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But actively letting it happen now, letting things fall away now, so that way, and for you, that is a different choice. And it is about that freedom. Like you want that freedom. Well, don't cling to something that's keeping you feeling like you're locked in somewhere else. So that is the message that's coming through for you today. I hope that you found this to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. As I mentioned, there was a video that posted yesterday about the upcoming eclipse and kind of how to navigate that based on your sign. And I will be doing the readings for the second half of the month. So those are coming up here shortly as well. So make sure to hit the subscribing notification if you want to be alerted as to when those new videos post. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time, bye-bye.